Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Bill. Which of you got through the door first? Did your shoulders bump again? Did your guys' shoulders bump coming through the door again? You guys are adorable. So consistent. Inconsistency is one of the things that make us extremely successful. Good morning, HP and Justin and Lil Roy and Carnivorous. Derek Anderson and Billy D. The shoulders bumped as they came through the door this morning. Bill, your package is well on its way. It just seems to get a little slow heading up the hill in Oregon. But I checked it this morning and it looks like it's well on its way. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We have an interesting day, but it's going to be a fast day today. Exception, good morning, Lynette. Top of the morning to you. Grand rising, as somebody I know says. Good morning, Rodmond. Good morning, everybody. Let me think of something here. Things that make pops go, In just a second here. What's today's date? 18, so we're looking for 17. Okay. There we go. I think so too, Justin. Supplementary, supplemental, supplement. I love how we call it that. Supplementary, supplemental, supplements. Good morning, everybody. So today's going to be a slightly shorter show. Pops has about an hour drive that I have to make to take care of some business in Ann Arbor this morning. So I'm going to have to leave out of my house at about 10. So we're going to cut ourselves short today at about 10 to 10. So give me a chance to get my stuff together and get going. So we'll only have about 50 minutes together today. But we'll pack a lot of goodness into that 50 minutes. Okay? Good morning. I don't know that we're going to see Clean Grow here this morning, but it is his birthday. What last I heard is he was going salmon fishing this morning. So we certainly hope he gets a chance to do that. Salmon fishing is so fun. I didn't go on this year's salmon fishing trip because of my flu and cold, and I didn't want to mess up the group. But last year, man, I had one on the line almost 2 hours. It took almost 2 hours to bring that baby in. Yeah, you got some burning forearms. Salmon act like they're tuna. Good morning. Anybody else out there ever caught a salmon? You're gonna go get a catfish today. Catfish is good too. Cats are fighters. They get their head on the line and they start tugging back. I usually know if I have a cat because it tugs. It pulls. Justin, you got them up in Michigan on the St. Joe? My salmon fishing was over in Lake Michigan. Yeah, catfish you get a nice sized one. That's why I can't believe the people that canoodle. Lynette, I grew up saltwater fishing. yellowfin tuna, coho, other stuff. Some really beautiful fish out on the West Coast. We would always fish around Catalina Island and the Anacapa Islands. I can't understand canoodlers. I cannot understand. Oh, Lynette, I also caught a shark, but that was off of the coast of Virginia. I went on it was a chartered shark fishing trip. A brother-in-law, myself, and then just the captain of the boat. It was just the three of us. And I hooked into, it was probably an almost 7-foot long shark. Crazy trip. And that was a fighter. That guy took forever to get him. Actually, all three of us took turns. Nobody gets to claim that one as bringing it all in by themselves. Yep. Targeted shark, and we got one. It's pretty crazy how they do it too, because you have to chum the water. You start out the night before, you go and you get you go to a fishery and you get a bunch of their fish heads and guts and all of that stuff. Then you go back to your fish camp and you get a grinder and you grind it all up and you put it in buckets that have holes in it and you mix it with fish oil. And then when you get out into the target area, you drop the bucket over the side on a rope and you just let the chum feed out of the holes that were in the bucket. And it just leaves this oily trail behind the boat. And then our bait is on a line in that oily trail. And it calls the fish in. The shark. It was a whole ordeal. We must have made up 6 or 7 buckets of chum, which is one of the grossest things I've ever done. But it worked. I have a phone interview in 20 minutes for Cod telling my story of growth, and I will be including Pops and the Cruiser, but not my name. Okay, Rodman. If you don't think you should mention us, that's okay. And good luck with that. Good morning, everybody. 23 people, 20 likes. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. Let's just do this thing. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Queenie. I think Queenie's fishing. So we'll hear from him in the next day or two if he stays on the boat, if the fish don't pull him in. Good morning. Morning, Mr. Phillips. We're going to be out of here at about 15 to 10 or 10 to 10 today. Okay? Sandham, is that true? They actually drown out there trying to catch those things? I can't imagine sticking my hand in a hole and wanting a fish to grab my hand and then I'll pull it out. It's gotta be, no. I have a fishing pole. I have a fishing pole, okay? And I'm gonna use it. Good morning, everybody. Jesus Christ, fished off of the... Were you at the front when they were playing music, Jesus? On the old Titanic? Justin, they're crazy is what they are. They're crazy. Just buy a fishing pole. Okay, what is Patrick saying now? I had okra that had white mat and started drying my tubs out quickly. Repeatedly so quick, I added a sprinkle of CV. Okay, well thanks for that, Patrick. Good morning too, by the way. Good morning to Why Do I Worry? Duck sauce, my chemistry professor told me he went noodling once and reached in a hole and grabbed something only to realize it was a water moccasin. Scary. Jesus. Chemistry professors out there canoodling. Is it noodling or canoodling? Which is it? That's good news, Patrick. Is it noodling or canoodling? Which one? Herbie knows this kind of stuff. It's noodling. Okay, I've called it canoodling, and I'm wrong. Okay? Alright, noodling. What a weird word. It's fun to say, though. It's fun to say. You guys all know Patrick M's B+s are pinning. She noodles. Girls are out there noodling. Patrick and I are canoodlers. What is a canoodle then, Sue Little? What is a canoodle? Somebody look up canoodle for me. That's what people do when they share a sleeping bag? Which is it? Somebody look up what is a canoodle versus a noodle. Good morning, Arturo. Am I really your unc? I have a bunch of nieces and nephews call me Unc Man. They don't call me Uncle Pops or anything like that. They call me Unc Man. Is it canoodling? Yes, I just read that because you said canoodling. Joe, I'm making up words. Canoodle means to kiss, cuddle, caress, or fondle someone amorously. Eggs, thank you. Eggs, have you been canoodling with moms lately? It's none of my business. Never mind. But thank you for looking that up. Perfect. So noodle is fishing. Canoodle is that with your girlfriend or significant other. Hey, you guys are adorable. Okay. Exception thought canoodling was, how's the universe? I'm canoodling right now. Groping. Jesus Christ, you love to think about groping, don't you? Okay. What's the difference? Yeah, Joe, you got a good one there. What's the difference between canoodling and spooning? Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Shh. Don't tell us this stuff. Shh. Okay. Jesus Christ says he canoodles himself. I would send that guy to HR, except he's the director of the HR department. You can't send Jesus to HR because he was running it. Okay? He's canoodling himself in his own office. Okay? You go to report something to HR, and Jesus is in there canoodling himself. Oh, that guy. Thank God he's all the way in Australia. Oh my goodness. Jesus would make HR quit. I can't handle this employee, boss. Oh gosh. A couple of times a week, the guy just blows me up. I love me some Jesus Christ in Australia. Okay, he's the ultimate HR nightmare. Oh, he is HR. What are you talking about? He's what HR should be. HRs should sort of get over themselves sometimes. Okay? Most HRs take themselves really serious. So I had a job once, and the director of HR, I was a manager, and the director of HR, gorgeous girl, and so I started flirting with her. And I started blah, blah, blah. And I pulled some pop charms out, sprinkle them all over her. They worked. Okay? Next thing you know, she's willing to go, shh, don't tell anybody, but I'll meet you for a drink after work. Moved in about 3 weeks later to her house, our apartment. We got one together, but we couldn't let anybody in the whole company know. HR is not supposed to be dating one of the managers. Okay, so here I am, or we are. I mean, we were just got along amazingly well. But we'd go to work in separate cars at slightly separate times. So you pull into the driveway, parking lot, and not one time in over, I think we worked together almost a year and a half. Not one time was anybody ever suspicious. It was so good because you'd walk by each other at work and pretend you were just, executive to executive, stuff like that. But meanwhile, we're both shave balls. Okay. Human resources is the good stop though. So, yeah, fancy seeing you here. Jesus, they would have fired us on the spot if they knew. It was a pretty, it's a nationally known company. But yeah, leave it to Pops to pull the HR director. Okay. I did it. I was proud of myself. It was fun to go to work and pretend you didn't know her. But every once in a while, you'd sneak a little wink or something when no one was looking. Okay, it was fun. It brought excitement to our relationship. Okay, it really did. There was like a level of mystery and excitement that we created. And always on the lookout to not get caught. Yeah. We're still good friends today. We're still very good friends today. One of my old HR guys was a shoe-in, he was a relative, okay? And he didn't know how to be an HR. Got it. Yeah. HR's a big deal now. They got to take all kinds of tests, get certified and stuff like that if you want to really move up in HR. There's like national tests and certifications and stuff. Crazy. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. Oh, yesterday after we marked Xamarin, apparently you were the HR guy. Did you ever date anybody at work on the slide? Oh, let me go blow my nose. Excuse me. Oh, I'm very sorry. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry about that. How unprofessional. Okay. It wasn't even on the slide, huh? It was full out right in front of everybody. Okay. Anderson, heck yeah, man. Glad to hear that. Doing great, man. The shoe up. Okay, I love your guys' comments. Sometimes I need to read more of them. Jesus Christ, you better be quiet this morning. How about, so yesterday, after Mark Xamarin did 3 giveaways, and we used the machine for it, and then I did 1. Those 4, guess what happened? We hit a milestone. Can you guys believe that since we've started using this little monster, as of yesterday, the 4th one we did yesterday, that was number 500. Number 500 of the times we've used this to give something away. Oh, Paige, that sucks. But yeah, that's the kind of, yeah, you don't break up with them. Whatever you do, don't break up with them. Okay, what is this? Joe D's had a Barbie. And every guy rolled over it. Okay, oh, geez. 500, Laura. Can you imagine that? We've used this thing to send out 500 packages. What do you guys think about that? 500 packages have gone out off of this machine. No wonder you know the sound when you hear it, Pavlov dog. Okay. I kept count. Yes, Corey. I did. I kept count. Yep. 500 have gone off of this as of the 4. I'm counting Joe's. Joe helped push us over the top. No, Mark. Mark helped push us over the top. So really, I've only sent out 497 myself. And then Joe sent out 3. But the machine itself has been used 500 times. Okay, that officially deserves a round of applause. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's do it again. Today we're going to give away. Do you guys like homemade honey? Do you guys like homemade honey? One of my good friends sent me homemade honey. She has her own bee, she has her own hives, and she collects and manufactures her own homemade honey. Okay? Personally, I don't like honey. I'm not a fan. I've never been a big fan of honey. So it was okay with her for me to give this away. Sam P. 500 is no small thing. I would love to, Nerdy, I'm with you. I would love to have a beehive. I've all my life, not all my life, but in the last 10 years, sort of wished I could be a beekeeper or have a little hive situation going. No honey and no ginger. Captain Obvious, I have 2 strikes already. I'm going to give this away for number 501. But we're going to add another thing to the package. Let's put these together. Pumpkin Hillbilly supplemental supplements. Okay, we're going to send these 2 things out in a box. Honey and some supplemental supplements that are, these are Pumpkin Hillbilly. Okay, let's do it. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Go. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Kill the game. Kill the game. Kill it. Kill it. Joe D's. First guy, first number. Joe D's said it's a 12. And sure enough, it's a 12. Joe D's. Joe D's just snacked y'all. Joey D. Boom. Boom. First numbers out the chute. It was pretty fast. Well, congratulations to Joey D. So Joe, send me your address. That gets our ball started on getting the order. As soon as I see an address, I go print a label, and then I fill the label with the product. Okay? So Joe, you send me that, and we'll get that sent to you. And I hope you like the honey. Congratulations, 501 Sammy P. We're gonna keep track. Pretty amazing. It's been we've been using this thing. Sandman actually gave this to me. Sandman gave this to me. I lied. He didn't give it to me. I stole it from him. I saw it. He brought it to a Mush Fest, and I like. Can I have this? Yeah. And so we didn't steal it. He brought it for the specific purpose of letting me have another way to do giveaways. Derek, I agree with you. We miss Sandy more than he knows. If he was here, we could tell him. But we could also tell him and let him read comments later on. Mr. Sandman. Okay. Has anybody ever gotten their dog high? Has anybody ever gotten their dog high? You can admit it. I did. When I was younger, I did it. Smoke a bong load, you've got it, and you bring it over to the dog and you blow it in the dog's face, deliberately trying to get the little guy high. I had a miniature German Shepherd, and I blew puffs in his face. He absolutely hated it. He hated it so much that after a while he'd see the bong and he'd leave the room. He's oh no, he's gonna puff me. He wasn't into it at all. Okay, Greenie, I'm raising my hand, I promise. I went one step further when I was bad. Okay, this one I think I told you guys once before. I'm not even going to tell you what I did when I tried to get... His name was 8 Ball. My dog's name was 8 Ball. Okay? Who has enough balls to name their dog 8 Ball? I could have called him Quarter. I could have called him a half. No, he wasn't white. No, but he was an 8 Ball. Okay. No kidding. My dog's iron balls. Pop's got him. I called my dog 8 Ball. That was his real name. He was just a good dog. When I went into the Marine Corps, he was like my dog. But when I went into the Marine Corps, I came home from on leave. And I'm like, where's 8 Ball? And I went to my old bedroom at the house. And the door jamb down by where the dog is was just chewed to smithereens. The back of the door all scratched up and everything. Well, evidently, because I wasn't there to take care of the dog, my other family members weren't as into my dog as I was, so they would lock him in my bedroom, my old bedroom, and he would try to chew his way out, of course. And they tell me, oh, we had to take 8 Ball to the shelter because he was going crazy. Well, yeah, if you're going to lock him in my old bedroom, he's looking for me every day. He doesn't know where Dad went. He's in lockdown because I joined the service. He goes to prison? Oh, was I mad. Furious. You don't take a guy's dog and put him in prison. And then because he's in prison and he doesn't like it, you just put him in an animal shelter, and we'll tell the guy when he comes home on leave. Yeah, furious. Of course, I couldn't take the dog with me to my next duty station, and at the end of the day, nobody wanted to take care of him. But I would have found a home for him if these people had told me. Yeah. I still have PTSD over that one. No, I don't. I already worked my way through that one. Otherwise, I'd be still mad at my family. Dogs. I love dogs. Cats, too. He used to... 8 Ball. 8 Ball run when he saw my bong. He was like, I'm not getting high with you today, dude. I'm just reading your comments there. Breakfast burritos, I'd love one, Captain. Do you put egg in it? Do you put egg? I like egg and hash browns, please. Some egg and hash browns, maybe sprinkle a little sausage in there. Scrambled eggs, perfect. Twice now, in the last 5 years, I've accidentally dosed Ruffy. Not weed. I've deliberately never tried to get him high because I don't want him to be afraid of the stuff. But I've accidentally dosed him twice. I would be at my packing station putting together packages to send out and, weighing stuff. And once in a while, something will drop to the ground. And one time I'm in there doing it, and something, you could hear the shroom hit the ground. And I'm like, I'll pick that up in a little bit. As soon as I'm finished packaging and stuff, I'll pick up the one I dropped. And I go looking for the one I dropped, okay? I go looking for it, and it's not there. And I'm like, I know I heard it drop. Where is it? I'm looking everywhere for this dropped shroom. I don't even know how big it was. It was big enough for me to hear it hit the ground. Okay. Well, that's weird. Maybe I was wrong. Until about 30 minutes later, here comes Ruffy. Eyes like a cartoon. Eyes spinning like a cartoon. No joke. And now he's running and throwing himself on the couch and jumping and running and jumping and trying to get attention and running and in the door and out the door and running and rolling and eyes going like this. I'm like, is that where the missing mushroom went? I think he must have snatched it off of the floor. To this day, I never found out what he had. I mean, how much he had. I don't know. You think that's bad enough? Okay. Oh, he was really vocal too, Herbie. You're right. I forgot about that. He got really talkative, barking at me. I'm like, dude. Okay, he was crazy. And then after he was done, or when he was obviously came down, he crashed like he had been partying for a week. This guy crashed and he didn't wake up till the next day. Okay? I mean, out. Like, you could poke him and he'd he didn't want to have anything to do, so he's sleeping it off. It happened again. Ruh-roh. This time I know how much it was. It was just a very small cap from a ghost. It's separated from the stem. It was just a little bit of a cap. And it slips off the floor, and he dove for it before I even had a chance to pick it up. He dove for it. And I'm like, he must have liked the last one because he really wanted this one. Here he goes again, having himself a ball all over the place. Yip, yap, run, jump. Yeah, Cags, he knew what it was. Okay? It was like, I want another one. Roughest evening. Went straight for it, you guys. And I'm like, you know what? That says to me, like, dogs would naturally not go back to something that really bothered them or scared them. They would avoid it. But for him to dive on it a second time, I'm like, I think he's liking this business. Since then, just for security's sake, I lock him out. He's not allowed in the processing room when I'm packaging, because I don't know if I'm going to drop something. And I don't want him to turn into a little doseaholic. Okay? Ghost is a lot like Golden Teacher, maybe a slightly, shroom by shroom, maybe slightly more potent. So now he's on lockdown. He's not allowed in the room when I'm packaging. Okay? So far, he's been dosed twice. Pretty crazy. Anybody ever accidentally dosed one of their animals? You can tell the truth. You just heard Pops admit to 2 of them. Has anybody else ever done the accidental dose of roast? So far, eggs. Anybody? No, you guys, you'll let them have weed, but you haven't let them have shrooms? Okay. I'm not saying you should. Okay? Carnivore says it's not going to be an accident when I do it. Aaron's like, yeah, Pops, I did a dropsy. So I'm kind of, there's not too many of us have accidentally dosed our dogs. Did you know that there's a study that they've been doing studies on dogs? I would say that Ruffy has a real high level of anxiety when I'm not around. He's so into me that if I'm not around, he gets super anxious. He'll break the blinds trying to look out the window to see where I am. He'll start barking if he can't see me and he feels locked in somewhere. He has an extremely high level of all the animals I've had. He tends to get really anxious at my absence. What is anxiety in a dog? What is anxiety? It's very much separation anxiety, Sam. Anxiety is defined as a negative emotional state characterized by the anticipation of a threat, danger, or harm to the animal. It is therefore an adaptive response to a situation perceived as harmful by the animal. In some cases, it may become excessive and disproportionate, leading to maladaptive outcomes. It is an unpleasant and undesired state for the animal, which will seek to reduce or eliminate this emotional condition, so it develops anticipatory behaviors to prepare for potential events. Ruffy does that. He sees me putting my shoes on, and he automatically says, because I don't wear shoes in the house, but if I start to put my shoes on, he runs to the door. You must be going somewhere, and I'm going with you. Anticipatory. He has all of these little quirks that if he sees me getting ready to go somewhere, do something, he figures it out quickly, and he goes and makes sure, don't forget to take me. That's another thing. Literally every day, I have to give him a ride in the car. I do. I have to put him in the back seat, roll the window down, let him stick his head out, and he gets a ride around. Usually I'll include it like, I'm going to run a mission or something. But he loves to go bye-bye, like you guys are saying. He, at about 11 o'clock every day, comes over and sits in front of me and stares at me and starts to try to hypnotize me with his eyes, saying, it's ride time. We're supposed to ride today. It's hilarious. And then all I have to do is look at him if I'm not going to do it that day, which I usually do. I told him, simple word, just go, no. And you see him crawl off somewhere super disappointed. My dog has anxiety. I think we're going to run long. I'll be a little bit late on my leading today. I'll do it. Preliminary findings. You're getting very sleepy. You're going to take me for a ride. Yeah, he does. He tries to hypnotize me with his eyes. Okay. They've done a study. They are doing studies ongoing on whether or not it's a good idea to dose your dogs. My first thought is, no, don't do it. And then my second thought is, wait a minute, Ruffy kind of liked it. Would dosing our dogs lower their anxiety? It does in humans. Would dosing your dog lower its anxiety, or would it raise it? What do you think? What do you think the results of the study are? What do you think? Would it lower their anxiety or raise their anxiety? Why do I worry? Okay. It would depend on the individual dog. Yeah, that's true, but I'm asking for a generalization. Eggs is going to Mike, go up. Kim went all physics professor on us like Jolie and says it depends. Okay. Probably. Preliminary findings on low dose 1CP LSD for canine anxiety. Exploring the role of owner, neuroticism, and psychopathology. This is a very official scientific report. This study explores whether small oral doses of 1CP-LSD, which is a legal prodrug of LSD, could help reduce anxiety in dogs. Thank you, K-Mama. Anxiety in dogs. 7 anxious dogs were treated over 30 days, and their anxiety levels were evaluated before, after, and 1 month following treatment. I like they call it treatment. An additional dog whose anxiety was perceived by the owner, but it didn't meet the clinical criteria, received a placebo. This case was included for observational purposes only and was not part of the formal analysis. The results showed that dogs treated with higher doses of 1CP LSD experienced greater reductions in anxiety, especially in separation-related behaviors. Notably, dogs whose owners scored higher on measures of hostility, interpersonal sensitivity, and paranoid ideation showed smaller reductions in anxiety. These findings suggest that low-dose psychedelics may have therapeutic potential for anxious pets, and that an owner's emotional state can influence the treatment success. Although the study involved a small number of animals, no adverse effects were observed, and improvements appeared to last beyond the treatment period. More research is needed, but this early work offers insight into ways of supporting animal welfare through novel therapies. The study investigated the effects of low-dose 1CP-LSD on canine anxiety. 7 dogs exhibiting anxiety-related behaviors were recruited, and they received 2.5, 5, or 10 micrograms of 1CP LSD orally every 3 days for 30 days. One additional dog, which did not meet the clinical criteria for anxiety, but whose owner perceived it as anxious, received a placebo. Anxiety levels were assessed using validated scales at baseline, post-treatment, and 1 month after treatment cessation. Owner's neuroticism and psychopathological dimensions were also evaluated. Linear regression analysis examined associations between anxiety reduction, administered dose, and the owner's psychological traits. A significant reduction in separation anxiety scores was observed post-treatment. They go on to give a whole bunch of calculations and numbers. Anxiety levels remained low 1 month after treatment, with significant association between the canine anxiety and hostility and interpersonal sensitivity and paranoid ideation. There's a few more facts and figures in the study, but the big picture is that this particular prodrug of LSD, administered clinically over a period of 30 days, significantly reduced the owner's perception of their animals' anxiety disorders. Boy, is nature magical. Isn't nature magical, you guys? I'm not telling anybody to run out and dose their dog by any means. That is not what we're saying here, and I'm not proposing that. I am just telling you what a recent study said. And I find it pretty darn fascinating. What I like more about that, what I like way more, is that they're researching. I just love the fact that we've opened up the closet, pulled the curtains back, and decided, we really know that there's lots of benefits to these to these psychedelic drugs and their use for mental wellness in humans. Let's see where they are with animals too, etc. Keep researching. I love the scientific community that's committed to this kind of research. We weren't allowed to do this 15 years ago. It was unheard of. We were still so stressed out about it being Schedule 1. So it's that's my favorite part about it. Keep on researching. So I'm out of time today. I have an appointment across town. It takes me about an hour to get there, and I wanted to get out of here by 10, out of my house. So there won't be any lesson coming out of the 4 agreements today. I thought we'd just spend some time today talking about our doggies. Okay, and then we also covered noodling and canoodling. Okay, Captain Obvious, I love you too. I love everybody here. I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity to hang out every day and learn stuff together. Isn't it great, Jolie? So I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. I don't think I have anything on my schedule tomorrow. We might run a little long tomorrow. We'll see. But let's have a wonderful day today. You guys get out there and be kind. Get out there and practice your 4 agreements. Be as good a human being today as you can be. When you lay your head down tonight, you're going to look back on your day and you're going to say, you know what? I can add a little notch to my self-image. I deserve it today. I deserve it. And why do I deserve it? Because I earned it by doing my best. Snap on you, Higgs. Here we go. Let me roll. Why do I worry? Jolie, Herbie, Lynette, Brand New American, good morning. Bill D, Captain Obvious, D. Anderson, Married Michael, Lynette, Married Michael, Nipper Mama. Nip, make sure you tell Cleany happy birthday. We're going to be sending him something. Captain Obvious, Paige, HB, Sammy P, time is swimming by. Greeny, Lynette, Higgs, Snappin', B. Hendricks, Nippy, Joe D's, Laura, having a divine day. Derek, Sammy P, the Master Beef, Exception, Carney, the Carnivorous Carnivorton, Calico Meow, Kitty Kimberly, Mary, Donnie Pike, Jesus Christ in Australia, canoodling with himself, Trenty, Jimmy the Max, Jesus Christ, Nipper, Marky Z, tell Don hello, Michael Patterson, love you my man, Joe D's, Jesus, Barrett, B. Hendricks, Billy D, Jesse Tinsley, don't be sad, come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow or you write me later. Pops, peace, love, practice kindness. Sincerely. I didn't say dose your dog. See you guys.